Imagine waking up one morning. A morning just like any other. You pour your coffee. You put on your clothes. You step outside. And you truly believe that you made all those choices. But what if I told you that from the moment you opened your eyes? Actually, long before that. When you were asleep. When you were a child. When you weren't even born yet. The world, your genes, your environment, your experiences, and thousands of hidden factors had already decided how you would think today. What you would like, and even what you would choose. What if I told you that your decision is actually the last link in a very, very long chain? Robert Sapolsky's book, Determined, begins with a shocking claim. Free will does not exist. And if you think you're choosing something, your brain actually chose it before you knew it. This book unfolds like a mystery film, layer by layer, until it gives us a picture of human behavior that's more scientific, more realistic, and emotionally much heavier. Today, we're diving into that world not just with science, but with stories, real-life examples, and moments where you will feel like you're inside the argument. Part 1. When you think you chose but you didn't. Let's begin with a story. The hand that stole before he knew it. Imagine a young man walking into a store. No one knows, not even he knows, that in his brain, a few seconds before his hand reaches for a bag of chips, a set of neurons has already fired the intention to steal. He feels like the decision comes afterward. I decided to grab this. But neuroscientists see something he cannot see. His brain made the decision before he was aware of it. And this happens in every tiny decision. Who you're kind to today. Why you get sad. Why you're shy. Why you suddenly like someone. Sapolsky explains, we witness our decisions. We do not create them. In famous experiments, the brain shows signs of a decision 7 seconds before the person becomes conscious of choosing. 7 seconds. That means before you think you're deciding, the decision is already made. Part 2. The story of our lives before we even exist. Sapolsky says, to understand a decision, go back thousands of years. Let's turn that into a story. Two baby, two futures. Picture a crowded hospital. Two baby are born minutes apart. Baby 1. Calm family, educated parents, safe neighborhood. Baby 2. Violent neighborhood, addicted father, depressed mother, constant stress. Neither baby has made a single choice, but already their paths are largely shaped. Sapolsky gives examples. A baby whose mother experienced severe stress during pregnancy has higher cortisol exposure, so higher risk of lifelong anxiety. A baby raised in a loving, safe home has better development of the prefrontal cortex, so stronger emotional control. None of this is choice, but later it looks like personality. Part 3. Genes, stories written inside us. Sapolsky explains that genetics are like instruction manuals, ones we never wrote ourselves. Real examples. People with certain versions of the DRD4 gene seek more novelty and excitement. Some have genes that clear dopamine more slowly, pleasure lasts longer, so higher risk of addiction. Serotonin-related genes influence vulnerability to depression. Sapolsky isn't saying genes are destiny, but genes define the range of possible behaviors. Environment chooses which ones get activated. So, is someone with less anger control worse? Or simply wired differently? Part 4. Environment. The stage where fate is formed. One of the book's most powerful themes is how environment shapes the brain. The calm child who became aggressive. A gentle child grows up in a warm household. But in school he's constantly bullied. Years later he's the guy who snaps easily. When researchers investigate, they find repeated threats rewired his brain, strengthening the fight-or-flight circuits. Not genetics. Not personality. Survival. His anger isn't a choice. It's adaptation. Part 5. The moment of decision from 1 second to 1,000 years back. Sapolsky sees decisions as chains stretching far backward. Let's explore with another story. Why did I say sorry instead of leave me alone? Imagine one morning you're irritated. Your friend says something annoying. But instead of yelling, you say, sorry, I'm not feeling well today. Feels like your choice, right? Let's rewind. Seconds earlier, your prefrontal cortex was more active. Minutes earlier, coffee boosted your dopamine. Hours earlier, you slept well. Days earlier, you exercised, stress hormones balanced. Years earlier, your parents modeled emotional regulation. Centuries earlier, your culture valued politeness. Thousands of years earlier, evolution favored cooperative humans. Which part of that chain was your free choice? Sapolsky answers, none of it. Part 6. If there's no free will, what about criminals? This is one of the toughest parts. We often say, he committed a crime, his choice. But Sapolsky gives a shocking example. The man who suddenly became a criminal. A 40-year-old man suddenly starts behaving dangerously. His family is horrified. A brain scan reveals a tumor pressing on the impulse control center. Doctors remove the tumor, and the disturbing behavior disappears. Was he evil? Or a biological victim? Sapolsky says, we are all like him. Our tumors are just invisible. So punishment should be about protection, not revenge. Part 7. Success. Are we really self-made? Sapolsky offers another story. 2 students, one successful, one average. Student 1. High IQ, supportive family, strong schooling. Genes for great memory. Student 2. Average IQ, stressful home, poor diet. History of anxiety. Student 1 works hard and succeeds. But even the ability to work hard comes from genes, environment, upbringing, and biology. So is success truly chosen? Sapolsky says, success deserves pride, but not arrogance. Failure deserves sorrow, but not shame. Part 8. Is it dangerous to believe we have no free will? People fear. If we don't believe in free will, society collapses. But Sapolsky argues the opposite. This understanding makes us kinder. When we realize why someone is anxious, why someone is shy, why someone is addicted, why someone is aggressive, and that no one chose their brain, their genes, their childhood. Can we still judge? Or do we want to help? Sapolsky writes, knowing the causes doesn't replace morality. It makes morality more humane. The book Determined gives us one powerful message. A message simple, profound, and heavy. No one is the author of their own story. But all of us are part of a much bigger story. Some find this idea frightening, as if meaning disappears. But in reality, we grow kinder. We judge less. We forgive more. We understand deeper. We build fairer systems. We hold people accountable without hatred. And maybe most beautiful of all, when we finally understand how many forces shape us from birth, we learn to appreciate every moment. When humanity, kindness, and love shine through those forces, maybe free will doesn't exist. But the beauty of being human is still there in every choice we never truly made.